Hello, everyone, we're Milla, the handmade dog apparel pattern shop. Today, we're going to walk you through how to choose the right size pattern for your dog and how to measure them accurately. So, I assume you've got your furry friend right there with you. When picking out a pattern, you'll see sizes listed on the website by neck girth, chest girth, and back length. You'll need to measure these 3 spots, but if your pooch won't sit still for a measure up, you can take measurements off a well-fitted garment you already have. Measure around the neck, chest, and back length directly on the garment for the best accuracy. If you don't have an existing garment, then you'll have to measure your dog directly. Starting with the neck girth. When they're not wearing anything, the collar position is a good reference. But it might differ from where their clothes sit. So, even if it's not a perfect fit, put on some kind of shirt on them first to find that neckline. That way, you'll see exactly where to measure. By dressing them, the neck position becomes obvious. This little one has a short neck, so it's right in the dip here. For fluffier dogs, if you're measuring without clothes, take 2 measurements. First, snug against the fur. Like this, nice and tight. Here we have 27.5 centimeters for the neck. For fluffier dogs, measure once tightly and once loosely, accounting for the fur. Take both measurements and note them down. For the neck position, with our patterns like t-shirts and sweaters, we include the rib length as the neck size. Rib, like what you have on sleeves. Is stretched when sewn on, so the actual neck opening is slightly larger than the rib length. So even if the rib seems small, the garment will likely fit because it stretches. Some sizes might fit even if they're 5 centimeters smaller. So keep that in mind when choosing a size. Initially, the neckline size was listed as the neck circumference. However, based on customer feedback, we now indicate the ribbing length as the neck circumference instead of the neckline. Next is the chest girth. You'll measure right behind the front legs, tightly. Or if your dog is fluffy, do a snug and a loose measurement. Measure from the center of the back, right in the middle, trying to keep the measurement tape at a right angle. For this little one, it measures 37 centimeters. The length of the garment can be adjusted to your preference. Some owners want the clothing to cover the tail, while others prefer it shorter, perhaps because of a panty-cut grooming style. And for those dogs with tails that curl upwards, too long a garment could cause it to flip up. So a shorter length would be better in those cases. Preferences vary, so you should measure according to the owner's liking. With milla patterns, we include ribbing. So measure from the ribbing to wherever you think looks good, that length should be fine. Take the measurement and make a note of it. Now, when selecting a size, always add some ease to the neck and chest measurements. Like us, don't wear skin-tight clothes, except maybe a leotard or swimsuit. You want a bit of room for comfort. Wearing clothes as tight as a leotard or swimsuit can feel really restrictive, right? It's the same for dogs. That's why it's better to have clothes with a bit of room around the chest, rather than a snug fit. This outfit, for instance, has a slight ease. You can pinch the fabric like this, there's this much ease. It's necessary to always add that ease allowance to your measurements. About adding ease. The amount of ease changes depending on the type of fabric you're using. And it also varies with the kind of garment you're making. Speaking of the garment itself, there's a difference between what you'll need for base layers like t-shirts and tank tops, and outer layers like jackets or Hampton coats, where you need more ease. For example, if you make a jacket the same size as a t-shirt, it's going to feel tight over the t-shirt, won't it? Wearing the same size on top of another would be snug. As you can tell if you look at human jackets or coats, they're made considerably larger to accommodate layering underneath. They're designed to fit more on the inside. Depending on what you are making, you might add a few centimeters of ease here and there. Another factor is the type of fabric you use. Whether it's knit fabrics like these t-shirts, which are stretchy, or non-stretch fabrics like cotton or shirting material, the ease amount will vary with the fabric's stretch. Obviously, if you're making something like a down jacket with padding inside, or a garment with lining, you'll need to go even bigger with the ease to prevent the garment from becoming too puffy. If you don't, the inside might get too cramped. So the ease needs to be adjusted based on the fabric you're using. For small dogs, when using a typical tank top or t-shirt knit, a normal amount of ease would be: for a small dog, add 3 to 4 centimeters of ease around the chest for knits. For the neck, add about 1 to 2 centimeters, which is approximately 3/8 to 3/4 inch. Since there's ribbing, and ribbing tends to cinch in, keep the rib size close to your dog's actual neck size. but make the neckline a bit larger to match. Aiming for about 10% to 20% bigger is a good guideline. We're talking about woven fabrics. When using non-stretch fabrics like for a shirt, you need to allow for more ease, otherwise, it could be too tight to even get the dog's front legs through. If it's too tight, you won't be able to dress them comfortably. For small dogs, adding at least 6 centimeters, which is approximately 2 3/8 inches, of these around the chest area is recommended for comfort. So, when we measured this little one, the neck circumference was 27.5 centimeters 10.8 inches, and the chest was 37 centimeters 14.5 inches. We added 1 centimeter, which is approximately 3/8 inch, of these to the neck and 3 centimeters, which is approximately 1 1/4 inches, to the chest. Then, looking at the sizes, you should choose based on the chest measurement first. For this dog, an S size would be the best fit. And in fact, this dog is wearing an S size. And indeed, they're comfortably dressed in an S size. For example, take the toy poodle model on the Milla homepage. That little one is sized like this: neck 20 centimeters, which is approximately 7.8 inches, chest 32 centimeters, which is approximately 12.6 inches, and back length 31 centimeters, which is approximately 12.2 inches. He can wear a size SSA, but it looks too snug and uncomfortable, so we usually dress him in a size S. You might think an S, with a chest circumference of 40 centimeters or about 15.7 inches, would be too big for a 32 centimeter chest or about 12.6 inches, 8 centimeters or about 3.1 inches larger. But as you can see from the photos, the S size looks more stylish and fits comfortably. There's enough ease, so it doesn't look awkward at all. And since SS looks truly tight, we go with S for a better fit. Always make sure to add some ease. And don't worry if it's not exactly 2-3 centimeters or something very specific. Because as you can see with our model dog, even with an extra 8 centimeters, the outfit can still look great. So, keep that in mind, and choose the size based on how you want the final look to be. Of course, with woven fabrics that don't stretch, you'd add a larger ease just like with less stretchy knit fabrics such as single jersey. In such cases, it's better to add a bit more ease. Choose a size accordingly. On the flip side, if the fabric doesn't stretch much at all, you'll need to go up a size to ensure a good fit. If you're making several garments with the same size, try to use materials with a similar amount of stretch to keep the appearance consistent. Today, I have explained how to measure and choose the right size pattern.